created our org structure. Okay, we created org structure for our warehouse. Okay, we created plant, store location, ERP warehouse, EWM warehouse, shipping points, purchase organization, sales orgs, sales area, and then we also created plant as customer and plant as vendor. Okay, then we started a discussion. Yeah, before that we also created the EWM warehouse. Okay, and then we started a discussion on EWM integration. We were talking about the architecture, how the systems are integrated. Okay, and then I was at this slide. I wanted to discuss with you how the uh, data flows from ERP to EWM, and what will be our our requirement at the end of this unit to make sure the data flows from ERP to EWM, EWM to ERP. Okay. So here we have, let's say, a purchase order. Okay, this is standard process between ERP and EWM. We have purchase order. For that, we do a good receipt in IM. Okay, without EWM. Now, when it comes to EWM, we have to create inbound deliveries. Inbound delivery is mandatory. Okay, so as soon as the inbound delivery is created, this gets distributed to EWM. Okay, and another inbound delivery is created on the EWM side. The number of inbound delivery can be same or it can be different. Okay, so basically here, this integration point we have to set up. So in this inbound delivery, we'll see our 3-character ERP warehouse, and when it is saved, we'll see when we log into any EWM delivery, our warehouse will be 4-character warehouse. Okay, so whichever document you see on the ERP side and it has a warehouse field, we'll see the 3-character warehouse. Okay, now this delivery is created. We also call this delivery as warehouse request. This delivery is then further processed. We'll do good receipt and then put away. So the deliveries are always in sync. Okay, so any changes on the delivery ERP side, it updates EWM. Any change on the EWM side, it updates ERP. So inbound delivery is created, and then as soon as it is saved, and we post a good receipt, a material document is posted in EWM, which will then go and update the ERP system. So again, a message goes from EWM to ERP. This is the same process steps, even in S4HANA and decentralized, the message goes from ERP to EWM. In S4HANA, both ERP and EWM are in the same instance. Still, we have queues and messages from one system to, like, it behaves like it's a different system. Okay. Then when the put away is completed, put away means you take the parts, you first receive it, you receive the pallet on the scanner, and then you take it to the final bin, and then another message goes to ERP that the delivery is completed. If at all we are receiving the stock in ROD and our put away is done into AFS store location, a posting change document is automatically sent to ERP that the store location has changed from ROD to AFS. So this is optional. This message may go, may not go, depending on your store location setup or your storage type mapping to the store locations. But the important point here is these automated messages should be processed and there should be connection between these systems. Okay. So clear so far? Shall we proceed?
Yeah. So Rohan, just a small doubt. If I compare it with the ECC, so when we do the inbound process, what we do the put away first, and we do the labeling, and after that we perform the GR. But in EWM, GR is happening before the put away, right? Is that mandatory, or that is the way we go?
And when it comes to delivery, right? When it comes
Yes, when
to
it comes to inbound delivery, yes, when it comes to inbound
yes.
delivery, like I'm trying to compare it because right now
Mhm.
when ECC, I do put away first. I
Mhm.
create my transporter, confirm my transporter, and then I
Mhm.
perform post good receipt.
Correct,
So
correct.
here, what we are saying that we will first do the good receipt and then we will do the put away.
The way that's correct.
Okay.
Because if you see the process, physical processes, you first
Do the
unload the
GR.
parts. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do the
Okay.
GR in the truck itself, or you unload the parts in the staging area. You do the GR and then do the put away.
Because some in some location, like if any warehouse, they want to do the preparation, right, for to do the put away. So what they do, they, but that's all. I got it. And the other question, when I do the good receipt, at that time my storage location will be ROD, right? Like if I got a
ROD.
two storage location, right? So it will be the ROD and my along with my staging area or with my door, like 9010. What is your interim location?
Mm, yeah, your store location will be ROD. There will be no interim location yet in the delivery
Okay,
in here,
okay, yeah,
but
okay,
when you do the inbound delivery schedule on EWM, it will have the staging area. We don't call it as interim areas anymore.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Interim storage type, we call them as staging areas in EWM.
Oh, okay, okay, fine. Thank you.
And also just to make you aware, it's a comparison between WM. We don't have dynamic bins
Yeah,
in
yeah,
interim areas.
yes, that's right.
And what is the movement type, Johan? This material document, which is posted against the inbound delivery 287.
101.
It's
These movement
101.
type, yeah, these movement types are not changing. They will remain the same.
Do we have movement types in EWM as well, or it is just ERP? We are capturing the movement
Yeah,
type
we
there.
don't have movement types in EWM, but something similar to that. We have
Notification,
process
adapted.
types.
Yeah, process type. Right, right, right. Process type and what you call document category, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So here comes the steps from the basis side. So basis will execute some steps on the ERP system as well as EWM. Okay. So now these steps will vary, okay, depending on your EWM version. If you are using a decentralized system or embedded, and an embedded, which system you are using, you know. So 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 basis team has to do the settings. Okay. Um, I've taken a screenshot of all these settings. We'll go through them one by one. And then, there are some BC sets also, which are recommended by SAP um, to activate as part of this basis settings. So now I don't want to label, that these are the settings, always do these settings and follow this document, because things keep on changing. Okay. So these are the settings which were there in 1909. So what you need to do is you need to go through SAP documentation. They have something called as admin guide. Okay, and it's not for us; it's for the technical team. So they have something called as admin guide. In that admin guide, all these steps are listed, and they may change based on the version, because SAP is making a lot of changes in EWM. So each version, and every year we have a new version. So make sure you're using the latest version of the admin guide. Okay. Let me see if I have an admin guide with me. Yeah. So you'll have a document like this. Okay. So this document is not only for EWM, it's for the entire setup in S/4HANA. Okay. So here you'll not only find, the EWM settings. Okay. You'll also find non-EWM related settings also. Like you can see, this is something like a finance thing. Okay. So here it is mentioned, how to build a client, how to set up, the best practice in a client. This is not our area. This is entirely basis job. Okay. But you will find here in this a section for EWM. Okay, if you go up, okay, these are the settings for EWM. Before you activate EWM scope items, create the following manual settings in the P system. Okay, so these are the basis settings that they have to follow in the S/4HANA system 1909 before they go and activate the EWM business best practices. See, these are the best practices for EWM. These are the processes which they'll activate. Okay, so you don't have to, I have the, a document which I'll share, but when you can refer that for this system, but whenever you are working for a project, make sure that particular version 2020, 1809, 1709 or decentralized, you refer the admin guide and make sure, see, it is total responsibility of basis team to make sure that these settings are done, but they may or may not do it. We need to make sure that just visit these nodes and make sure that they have done it. So most of the times you may not even have authorization to display this transaction. These are client level changes, and they do impact how the integration happens from one SAP system to another. So just get these things validated from a basis team that they have done these settings. Okay.
So Suran, if I know
Mhm.
it just on top of your head, if you remember, because as you are saying, this document keep on changing. What is the source from SAP? I know it will be from SAP, but do you remember from where we are getting the updated version with the new release of SAP?
You remember yesterday we saw best
Yeah,
practice
yeah, yes,
expert?
yes, yes,
We
yes.
find it
From
there.
there on, there
Yeah,
only. Okay,
there
good.
only.
And you for every technical upgrade, you will go through the steps again every time.
Okay, that's a good point. So for every technical upgrade, SAP will have a different document. So these settings, when you go for, I think when you go for an upgrade, you have to look at the release notes and find out, what are the new changes. If something has been changed on the integration setting, it would be mentioned in the release note that you additionally do it.
Okay, so kind of it's a one-off activity, but any delta will be.
Yeah, it can come. Yeah, ideally this won't change much, but when SAP upgrade, they might do certain settings in background for your system, but when you go for a new implementation, you have to do it yourself before you download the best practice. So for when you upgrade, you don't have to look into the guide of a fresh implementation. You look at the release notes where you have to understand what changes I've done from the previous version.
And is there a consolidated guide? Is there anything like now I don't know there's a note like consolidation.
Yeah, you will get a consolidation guide, you'll get release notes, you'll find simplification list. There are many documents. Okay. So let's go through these settings one by one. So basically, we have logical systems. Okay, so now we will create a dummy logical system because generally this is a valid logical system, because your destination is because it if it's decentralized, different system is created. Okay, let me try to explain you here. So if it is decentralized system, we have, not ERP, we'll say, okay, ERP, we'll say one ERP for now, EWM. So this system is created as a logical system A. This is created as a logical system B. Okay, and then basically there are settings done separately in ERP, separately in EWM, and the system will, how, when the data is supposed to send to ERP A, what RSA destination to be used, what logical system to be used, that all configuration is done separately in ERP and EWM. Okay, but when it comes to embedded, you have both. The system is same, ERP and EWM, both are in the same instance. Okay, but EWM is also in the same, instance. So what we do is we create a dummy system here, dummy logical system. Okay, so basically A is logical system and B logical system are same. Okay, so logical systems are basically, a basis, kind of a I would say master data, where no, it's a config data where they identify each system with a name. Okay, and there is a naming convention also. For example, the naming convention here you will find it's system name, EWM client name. So if the system is RSK or PRD, VR0, whatever the system name is, and then EWM and then the client name. Okay, so you'll also get these kind of naming convention proposed by SAP. Okay, so uh, it used to be a big headache, when these settings were very big in decentralized old days, 7.4, 9.1. But yeah, now slowly SAP has reduced the number of settings, and then the expectation is, slowly they all will be created in background when, you know when SAP will further streamline EWM into the embedded system. So all this will slowly go away or will be automated. There are still tools provided by SAP where you can go and do this
But
test things one by
yeah,
one.
but they are painful, like the wizard. It's never worked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I personally don't like
I
Wizard.
don't like it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
tried.
yeah,
It's a pain.
yeah. So, but yeah, Wizards, rather than doing Wizard, it should be automated. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll go through these settings, understand the logical system, and we'll also visit the config where these settings are mentioned as wizard, but we'll follow this document one by one. We'll see the settings. Okay. We have here. tool-based ERP integration, and you have, we're talking about this. They also have a wizard for warehouse integration. Okay. So generally, if you click on the documentation, you'll see all the steps that we have listed. They are here in the document. You'll find them here. Okay. Then we have functional settings also. We'll come back to them. We have to do. I told you we have to do some functional setting for the integration. Today, let us focus on the basis. Okay. So these all settings you have seen. They are also there in the document. Okay. Now we'll go through them one by one. I think this wizard is good to navigate. So if you want to go to the and navigate and verify, if you want to go to the logical system, you can come here and see a logical system. Now this test system, you have several logical systems. Okay. Have you all got the system access yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So this logical system is the ERP system. What we are going, yeah. Correct.
Yes. So I mentioned here DV1 client 400 is the ERP logical system. We don't have to change anything here. They are already set up. And then the dummy logical system for EWM is DV2 EWM 400. Okay. So these are the two systems that have been created by basis team for this client. Then the next thing is assign logical system to client. So if you look at this, the logical system, the client is 400. This is company code setting. And you can see DV1 is assigned to the client. Okay. So
Just break over here. If you go back to the screen, yeah. So the client, this is a new entry for the client. It's a new field what you have created for the 400, and that logical system we have defined in the previous step, right?
So this client config is not new.
Okay.
This client config SCC4 transaction has been there since the start of SAP. Even logical system is there. The
Will be
field is
there
there.
for yeah.
Yeah. It will be
So
there.
in your test system, like you are working on a test system, right? So we also I have a test system. So if I have to because and they're so confusing. So there are so many systems over there. Okay. So to identify which is my client, and which is my right logical system for ERP. Okay. Is there any way, Rohan?
You have to come here and see,
No, but here if you go back one step back. So okay. Now 400. Now you got a dev client 400 and 401. Okay. Now you know that it is 400 is a ERP, but for what you are in a system 400 as well, right? Client 400 as well.
That's correct. I'm in system 400. That's why
okay.
400.
Okay, fine, got you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So this logical system of ERP, it is assigned to client. Okay. Then let's go back.
So who's the client there? Sorry again, apologies. You assigned both the ERP systems, logical systems, right?
No, I've only assigned logical system of ERP to the client.
Okay, you only done the ERP assignment.
Yeah, because we can only assign one to the client. We cannot assign two logical systems.
Correct. Okay. Okay, DV2 is the name of the dev 400. Okay, that's fine.
Then we need to create a RFC destination. So if you come here, we see here that for DV2 EWM 400, this is the DV2 EWM 400. This is the EWM logical system, dummy logical system. It is assigned to RFC destination. So RFC destination is generally we use RFC destination to connect to another system, another SAP system. Now here, the other system is EWM only. So if you, I mean S4 HANA only. So if we copy this, and if you go to /OSM59, if you see it here, this is the RFC destination. And if you try to connect it, it will open the same system. So this RFC destination is also a dummy one. It is opening the same system, ES1400. Okay, so we need to understand the background. SAP came from a decentralized system into embedded. Okay, so in decentralized, this used to be a RFC destination. You can test RFC destination, and it used to open up EWM system here. Okay, you can do a connection, and you can do a test that, from ERP you go to EWM. There used to be RFC destination on EWM side where you could ping SAP ERP, the ECC, and see if the connection is there or not. But now it is dummy in S4HANA because it is within the same system. Okay.
So in SM59, you have created the RFC destination. Can you go one more time, please, over there?
Yeah.
So here we have entry for under LSC. We have entry for both, right? The ERP and for EWM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So DV1 client 400, that is for the ERP, the third one.
See, we don't have to look at anything else here because here you'll have a lot of systems. Okay,
Yes,
you may even have
correct.
DV to EWM 401.
Yeah,
We just need to look at
APO.
what
Yeah.
is relevant to us.
Yeah.
So the one
So my question is, do we need both system over here or just need only EWM system under the RFC configuration?
we just need one system.
Okay.
And you can see here, the only system we need is the EWM system.
Okay.
If it's a decentralized, then that setting will be required to be done in a separately in EWM as well, where you have a SAP system as a RFC destination, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So it's from embedded.
This is embedded, just one
entry over there. Okay.
It will be, if it is decentralized, there will be two in EWM. There will be RFC destination to point to ECC. In ECC, there will be RFC destination to point to EWM.
Correct. It's disconnecting.
Then coming back to our wizard. Okay, so we created RFC destination. So this is the one which you have to look at. Others, basis will create many, so just ignore them. And you can see I have for this system, this is the RFC destination. If in case while you are trying out yourself, okay, please make a note. Then let's move on to the next one. The next one is queue out scheduler. I think SAP has removed the transaction code here. Queue out scheduler is SMQS. Yeah. So we'll go to transaction SMQS. So here you can see the RFC destination is mentioned here. So we should have expected here DV to EWM 400. It should have been here. So let me check the document, keyword scheduler.
And what is the keyword scheduler? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll explain. So, okay. So the keyword scheduler is for the, it's not for the EWM client. It is for the, this is RFC destination. This is for the ERP system. Okay, not for the EWM. Okay. So here our ERP. Okay. So basically this is the RFC destination for EWM. So there is also RFC destination for the same system, DB1 client 400. So this RFC destination, what it does, basically here we have a connection time and a runtime. So basically, whenever some date, whenever EWM is, see, this doesn't make sense in embedded, but I'll just try to explain you from a decentralized perspective. If some data is coming from EWM to ERP, or in this case, some data is going from ECC to EWM. In that case, whatever is the destination, this is the connection time. Okay, it tries to connect in 2 seconds and it will keep on trying. And if it doesn't connect for 60 seconds, it will give a runtime error. Okay. So this is keyword scheduler is, you can change these parameters, and it's purely basis parameters, and they change it. We start with SAP recommended parameters and we change them if required. Okay. So here for the ECC RFC destination, we go and maintain, like if data is coming from EWM, we go and maintain what is the maximum connection time and the runtime. So that also has been given by SAP. The recommendation is to keep it 1 and 60 default.
Right.
I haven't seen any project so far past 8-9 years where we have changed anything here. It's pretty standard and it works really well.
So in this SMQ, in this what was the transaction? Yeah. So here SMQS. So here we define the queue as well, right? Like for the EWM, we have a specific queue, and EWM related. Whenever we see the SMQ1 and SMQ inbound and outbound, they should come to the respective queue.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Okay, that's a later part. Okay, it's not over here. Okay.
And is it supposed to be inactive?
Okay.
It's saying inactive. Is it for any particular reason? It's already set up.
No, it's already set up. It's active. It's like maybe the connection. It's not trying to I'm not pretty sure about this indicator, but it's always inactive. And I think it's internally it sets up active and inactive. Maybe some process, if it's going through, it will be active.
Okay.
Then the next one is the queue in scheduler. Okay. So queue in scheduler, the transaction is SMQR. Okay. So here, these are the queue names. Okay, so these are the queues which are coming from ERP to EWM, EWM to ERP. For them, they have this, these, if you click them, you will see the queues. Yeah. So now this is very important. You can see for each one how many queues have failed. So this is important because here the runtime is 60 seconds. Yeah. Same from the previous thing. These two indicators are very important because if data comes from ERP to EWM or EWM to ERP, if at all there is locking, okay, so let's say I've changed my material master. I'm in a change mode in my material master and we're trying to post a good receipt. A standard system in MyGo will get an error. The purchase order, the product is blocked by user. But here, what happens? The queue comes, the GR queue comes, it goes into a retry status. Okay, so this is important where, it goes into retry. It says the product is locked. It will take a pause of 300 seconds. That means 5 minutes. And then it will again try to post the document. So like that, it's going to do every 5 minutes, 30 times, approximately 1.5 hours. It will keep on trying to post the document. Generally, the locks are not kept for so long. So once the lock is removed, the queue will be processed. Okay. And if at all the lock is there, even after somebody has kept it open and he forgot and he's been working since then on the screens for more than 1.5 hours, then the queue will fail, saying that the object is locked. Okay, so this is very important. The attempts and pause here.
So that DLV star. So I have seen that when the queue was getting it's the inbound delivery is coming, it comes with a DLV start. So what are the different kind of, that was the logic, right? It should accumulate all delivery. So what are the important one for which we should have these queues?
Yeah, so we also get those lists from SAP. These are let me go to that list and I'll explain you which one is for what.
I think for a functional person, this is a bit important to understand, right? They should have, at least when they were doing the troubleshooting.
Yeah, so when you are troubleshooting, you're resolving some queue failures.
Yeah.
So in that case, with experience, you'll get it, because you realize, what queues are for what. So basically, I to find a list here. Generally, we have a list of all this schedule here. Okay, but I've removed in this version. So if you see here, SMQR and SMQ plus SMQR. Okay. If you look into SMQR, these are the ones, I think somewhere the document they'll be there. So DLV, this is based on my experience, but SAP will still just give you a list. These are the ones: DLV, DLW, EWM, WM. So DLVs are anything which is going from ERP to EWM. If you post a good receipt, it has DLW. If you any document is created in EWM, like a physical inventory or a scrapping, which is not related to delivery, you have EWM star. And if anything is related to production integration, it has PR star. Anything related to thing WM star, I don't know. This is okay. This is anything related to a task creation, like you do a good receipt and a put away task has to be created or a picking task has to be created. Within EWM, it is WM star.
Got you. Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
Okay. Then let's go back to our next setting, which is so we did queue out, queue in. Now we'll see setup for QRFC administration for SIF queue display. So this is transaction SMQE. Okay. Now SMQE is a transaction where all these queues, they are assigned to a program. Okay, in the document itself, SAP will give a display program. So what these display programs are, so they are basically, they help you in troubleshooting. So if at all you come across a situation where there is a queue and you want to see the log of that queue, right? So if a queue has failed, so this is a queue, for example. You want to see the log of this queue, why it failed. So if you double click this, it will give you a log like this. It will give you a detailed log why it failed. So here there are no logs selected because log is not activated for the delivery, but you know, it should give you a detailed log like this, as we saw in the first instance. It should give you a detailed log. Basically, all logs are recorded in a transaction SLG1. So you don't have to go into SLG1. It should go and get all the logs for you from the system, from the SLG1 log. So this display program is required. If the display program is not assigned, you'll not be able to see the logs. Okay. So make sure
So,
the business team has activated the logs.
okay. And the display program against that logs, right?
Yes. So this is,
CQA.
yeah, this helps you with, this display program will help you with reading the logs which are created for the queue failures. It really helps in troubleshooting. Otherwise, you know, based on that date and time, you have to go in SLG1. It's really painful otherwise. Right. So we did the settings. Now this setting is for master data integration. Yeah.
So one more thing around when this RFC inbound and outbound is going, it will be the main user who's executing the transaction, or is there a EWM or ERP user? Like for example, if I have to look at the SLG one, right? So I can filter it both the use with the user. So those logs will be with the name of the person who's executing the transaction, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Who is executing a transaction, you can find in that. See, in decentralized system, you'll have an RFC user
Yes,
if you are
yes.
investigating a good
Yeah,
receipt, but in embedded, it is the same.
it is the same. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now we have two terms called business system group and business system. Okay. So business system is used for transactional data and business system group is used for master data. Okay. Now the business system group, I'll explain you what it is, what is the background for having it. But here you can see for our system, the business system group is BSG. Okay, it has been changed. Okay, this is somebody has changed it. Why people change this? Just give me a minute. BSG underscore DV2. So in the product, you know, you will get which business system group it is assigned to.
And this is BSG is for the master data, right?
Yeah, business system group is for the master data, business system is for the transaction data. So this is the logical system. Okay, the ERP logical system. So now here you need to understand this business system group is basically used not in embedded but in a decentralized system. In embedded, you will just create one business system group and that's it. It will stay there forever. But this is used in the decentralized system because in decentralized, if you have master data, that is, let's say, product, okay, you have EWM system connected to two, you can have EWM system connected to two ERP system. Okay. Now, when the material T100 is sent, or let's say there is another material TST 200. When this material is sent to EWM, EWM knows. So ideally, what I would do here, ideally what I would need here is, I have a logical system. Let's say logical system is ERPA client 100, and ERP system for B is ERP B client 200. Ideally, when the material is getting stored, for recognizing this material which system it belongs to, I would store logical system, right? Logical system is the best thing, right? But why SAP is not storing logical system but another element called business system group? So instead of this logical system is assigned to a business system group, let's say BSGA, and this is assigned to BSGB. Rather than storing logical system, my product has BSGA and BSGB. So any guesses, why SAP brought business system group rather than storing the logical system? Why it is a business system group is stored here?
Just to segregate the master data from which system it is coming?
Yeah, but I could have also stored logical system. Like I would have stored ERP A client 100 and ERP B client B 200 here. Why there was a need for another
or if
term object to bring in?
Nothing to do with if they got the same kind of material number in both the system.
Yeah,
No.
if they're same kind, then we will have to do an enhancement, and we will have to add a prefix or a suffix.
Okay.
Because product master is one. So I would say A T. This is one of the reason. So when you're connecting to more than one ERP system, we have to implement a body, and we do it at a business system group level. That is one thing that is used. But the main reason is this logical systems are basis master data. They can change it tomorrow. There is some reason, they might have changed the name here. Okay, they can bring in a new logical system. Now if the logical system is assigned to a product, the product will become corrupted if you change the logical system. But with masking of business system group, your product is same. Your product does not change. Your business system group does not change for the product. Once you've started your project, once you've started using production system, the business system group remains the same throughout the time you're going to use EWM. So now you saw in the product there was business system group A. Now let's say if SAP somebody from basis, they change the client for some reason. They say ERP 1, 2, 3. They add something here. They change it. We just have to change the assignment of ERP 1, 2, 3 to BSGA. Okay, so in the product, there's no impact on the product, even though the client has changed. Okay.
Yeah.
So
this BSG setup as a functional, we own it, or it's again a pure basis system?
it is basis setup, but
yeah,
they
we have
blindly
to
do
tell
it. They
that.
don't. They don't understand its relevance that much.
Okay.
Somebody senior may understand, but if they are juniors, they simply follow the notes and they do it. But it has a very important implication on our master data. So whenever you do a refresh, client refresh, what happens? Your product client refresh your logical systems. See, there is a client here. Let's say my production client is 500. As soon as I refresh, my client 100 gets overwritten by 500.
Yeah, test client. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I have to do this mapping again in the quality system after refresh.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So same way we have for transactional data, we have business system. Transactional data, let's say delivery. Okay. Same example I'm going to explain here. Let's say deliveries. So ERPA, let's say we have an inbound delivery 180001. Okay. And here we have business systems rather than business system group. And here, let's say there's a delivery here ending with 2. So now when this delivery 18001 comes here, it has to have the business system information. That's how we'll tell the system from which system it came from. And that's the system is going to look when we have to send a GR message. System will look at that business system and try to send it data to that system. So again, just to make sure there is no dependency on the logical systems, they can change with client refresh or basis can change. SAP has brought its own business system object, which will help us to make sure that we don't corrupt our transactional data. So I'm just going to show you one inbound delivery where you can see the business system, and we'll see what business systems are configured in this in our embedded. It's purely straightforward. We don't, so there's just one system and one business system group. So here there is business system. Yeah, this is the business system in our client. Delivery to 400, and then it is assigned to a logical system here. This is the, was it the transaction? Okay, yeah, it's the enter transaction when you say own business system. So this is assigned here, and this is our own business system, and thought it's assigned here somewhere to the logical system also. No. Okay, yeah, this config will come. So here you will see the business system and the warehouse. It's recorded here into the delivery based on the warehouse.
This is the main link where we assign ERP warehouse to EWM warehouse.
Yeah.
Or this is.
We have it. This will do tomorrow.
Yeah, but this is the main link.
Our this is function setting. But yeah, we will see business system there. So let me open a delivery, any delivery.
Rohan, can you again show the business system assignment? Sorry, it was a bit fast for me.
Yeah, I'll come back to that. Let's see the business system in a delivery where it is stored. You can see the deliveries. It is storing the business system information from which system so when a queue comes, it has the business system information, and then it assigns a delivery to it. It stores the business system into the delivery data. Okay. So this is the business system configuration. I'll come back again. We first define the business system here. Okay.
Yeah.
And here we say, DV2 400, which is the logical system. This logical system means this business system.
Correct. So only this setting we have. Okay. Only this setting must be done.
Yeah. This setting is where we create a business system. Then there are some more settings. We'll do that in the functional.
Okay.
And there is this control for QRFC. I'll explain you now this one. So there are 3 settings for business system in the wizard. So define business system, same business system, you have to put it into your own business system config. So basically,
what is this step doing?
So own business system means, if in case you are connecting to, um, if at all you are creating data internally in EWM, it's not coming from ECC, you create a delivery in EWM. So this will store internal delivery. It will take this business system, that the business system for the same. So we keep it same as the ERP if it is embedded. So let's say you create a delivery in EWM itself. Okay. So then it stores that
So
information.
what will be, sorry for my understanding, but what it will be created because it need a inbound delivery document, right? As a mandatory. So what it will create a internal delivery
So
against.
you create an internal delivery. Let's say we create a delivery for production supply. It's not updating ERP. It is within the warehouse.
Okay.
So then it will look at this own business system because there is no ERP involved here. There will be just one own business system. This test system has two more. Just ignore them. It will take the own business system and it will update in the delivery, because delivery as a document needs business system.
That bit I understand what you're saying,
Mhm.
it needed business system, but what I did not understand is how the trigger is not in the EWM, right? EWM is just in between. The trigger is coming, your production will come from your ERP, right? If it's
No, but
against the production.
what I'm saying, there will be scenarios where there is no connection to ERP, no requirement of any deliveries from ERP. You can also generate deliveries only in EWM for EWM processes. So when you're
Okay.
supplying to production, you don't want to update ERP. There's an internal delivery to take the product from warehouse
Product.
to the
Okay.
store to the production area.
Okay. So intermediate step you were saying.
Yeah,
So we do.
so just to put it in another word, in EWM, everything works against inbound delivery and outbound delivery. Is that correct? Correct, Rohan?
But we also have internal deliveries, stock
Yeah. So
transfers.
that's, yeah. Even those will be internal and inbound and outbound, right? Some sort of like that delivery only.
No,
Because
we
when
call
you,
them as internal deliveries. It's not inbound,
okay,
outbound. It's within the warehouse.
within the
So
warehouse, okay.
within the
Internal.
warehouse, you send the data, you do it directly, or you can also create deliveries as well.
And these number range we can segregate them, right? The
Yeah,
delivery
there's a
number range,
separate number. Yeah.
they
But
are
even
separate number.
the transaction itself is different to look at the
Yes.
deliveries.
So if I put in a business perspective, if I'm using this just to make sure my understanding is correct, if I'm moving the stock from an overflow into my actually available for sale
Mhm.
location,
Mhm.
that is internal. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, and you have
Okay.
options. You can do it in one step using task, or you can create a delivery also for internal movement.
You can say it's optional. Okay.
Yeah, it's optional.
Okay. 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 So in our system, where have we have these 5 or 4 storage location created, whenever we move
Mhm.
item from one to others, we progress along,
Mhm.
it will do internal movements, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can also move from AFS to production manually. Let's say
Sure,
something
sure.
is urgent, you don't wait for production order, you can just send it right
Correct.
across.
Correct. Because it's directly, against the project. For an example, project stock. I'll
Mhm.
I'll I'll have a project stock storage location. So I got ROH. I did my delivery, whatever needed, rather than going into available for and move across the chain that way. I can directly put into the project storage location, but that will be internal movement.
Internal movement, that's correct.
Makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, so this is the last basis settings where for the business system, we say what is the queue type, how's the aggregation, how's the mass queue activation. So these are again, default indicators provided by SAP, and we don't change them. We maintain them same like how it is provided by SAP. So, queue type inbound means, see, whenever you're sending data from one system to another, there has to be some validation, and there has to be some, validations. If they fail, it has to post an error, right? So, so the queue will always, when it is being sent from ERP, it will be sent directly. It will not do any validation. Validation will be done on the EWM inbound side. Or if a queue is coming from EWM to ERP, when it is sent from EWM, it will not do any validation. But when it comes as an inbound to ERP, it will check whether the material is extended or not, whether the period is open or not, or material is blocked or not. All those validation checks will be done in the inbound side. So that's why, whenever you are doing queue monitoring, you will only monitor the inbound queues. You'll never find any failures in outbound. Okay. So when we are sending data, we are just pushing it across. We are not, since these are same as these are SAP system, we could also do some validation. In embedded, you can, in embedded, you can do the same validation on sending when you're sending. But just to, make, I think, the queue monitoring simple or at one place, SAP has made the queue type as inbound. Then if you guys have worked into decentralized WMS systems, the other two indicators are basically to help us with the queue processing. So prior to EWM, whenever we used to connect WM to a decentralized or, similar scenarios, we used to have, multiple ERP systems connected and to a WMS system. So the data, when it comes and goes, we used to have, whenever it's RFC, we used to have queues. Now the benefit here is, or what the settings they control. Two things. One, there is a separate queue for each document, but prior to EWM, or there used to be some systems. I've seen some systems where there was just one queue, WM star. So if one delivery used to fail, everything else used to fail. Okay, so here it is neatly designed, so deliveries are independent. Okay, then what we say is, so if you see here, we say is mass queue deactivated. That means every document will have its own individual queue. The second thing is no aggregation. That means, whenever a delivery is failing, we saw in the slide, you have two postings coming from EWM to ERP. First is the GR, the second is the posting change. Okay, so this posting change will fail if the good receipt has failed. Okay, because it is reference to the same document. So definitely it has to fail, because it cannot do a stock posting change if at all the product itself has not been received in ROD. How will ROD to AFS will functionally, it is pretty much well understood by us, but technically, we needed that check-in system. So that has been built in. So you will see sometimes here the entries are just 111, but sometimes we'll see more than one entries, 5-6 entries here, because you have the first one has failed, the others have all subsequent postings for the deliveries have also failed. Okay, so the queues, they are we don't do a mass queue are deactivated, and aggregation is not allowed. That means we'll have individual queues for each delivery, and they are basically dependent on others. So the first posting that takes place should be processed, then the later postings for that delivery will be processed. Otherwise they'll get piled up here waiting for the failure to be removed.
So what would be your indicator as a function if you're investigating that which document has failed? So because you said if GR has failed, the posting document is failed. So they both entries come here.
Mm-hmm.
So you said the benefit was because each document has its own queue. So would it say it's failed because the preceding, because it's in a stack,
No,
right? It's in a what?
you'll see that here they will get piled up here. There'll be no
Okay, so
failure. It will say
okay.
pending for the first one to get cleared.
Right. They get
There's
piled.
no failure for them. They could have got processed if they were individuals.
Correct. Okay. So they're failure because the first one you invested. Okay.
Okay. So these were all the basis settings. Okay, I will upload this data sheet, and I'll try if I can. I'll also update this admin document for you to go through. This is 1909. I'm not sure if I can upload, standard SAP documents here. Let me find the link. I'll upload the link if I find it, or yeah, or else I'll share it into the chat window. Can I do an attachment here? I think I can.
And are you also uploading that Excel which you're working on? Is that also you doing,
Yes.
Johan?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be loading that at
Oh,
the
great.
end of each session. I kind of update it.
Update. Awesome.
Okay, let me send you this, and then we can start for today.
So Ron, in real life, when the business owner is doing, so how they do the good receipt? They do the good receipt on the terminal on the PC, and then they do the rest of the activity on scanner, or they do it on the scanner itself, the good receipt.
Scanner itself. Good receipt is done on the scanner itself.
Scanner itself.
Okay. All right, then. Any other questions before we end for today? Tomorrow we'll try to complete the functional integration settings.
No, thank you for today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
have a
you.
nice evening, afternoon.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers, guys. Speak to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.